Raila Odinga, the ODM party leader, has contested for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya 4 times. In 2007, majority of his supporters believes very strongly that Raila Odinga won that election free, fair, and square. But he was never declared the president. In 2013 and 2017, his supporters also believe that he was rigged out using technology. But Raila Odinga is going into the 2022 general election with several advantages. Number one, Raila Odinga is getting the support of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta was his main challenger in the last election. So majority of Kenyans assume that if you take the votes Uhuru Kenyatta got and the ones Raila Odinga got, then nothing was going to stop Raila Odinga. Number two, Raila Odinga is also going into this election with enough resources. Just yesterday, I was reading in the papers that the political parties fund has actually hit the bank, 1 billion Kenyan shillings, going to ODM and another 1 billion Kenyan shillings going to Jubilee Party, which means the two parties which are working together will have close to 2 billion for this campaign. And then there's also the perception that because it's getting the support of President Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga is going to enjoy the support of the deep state. Raila Odinga supporters always believe that he has never been declared the president because the deep state has never accepted him. But Raila Odinga is facing several hurdles on his march to Statehouse. So today I want us to look at some of these hurdles, whether he can actually surmount them. But before we do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. I'm actually still recording this video from Great Wall Apartments in Nairobi. I'm going to leave the contacts down. 4-bedroom, 4,500, 3-bedroom, 4,000, and 2-bedroom goes for 3,500. Very cheap. I'm doing this, then I'll be hitting the road to catch up with my SGR. Just 15 minutes away from here. Now, what are some of the hurdles which Raila Odinga is currently facing? The first hurdle, if you ask me, is the unfulfilled promises. You see, Raila Odinga has been in politics for a long time. And you know, in politics, you make promises. And again, in politics, some of these promises are never fulfilled. So Raila Odinga has never fulfilled most of the promises. And that can explain why Mudavadi and Weta got an excuse of joining Ruto, while we know that Mudavadi joined Ruto because he could not fund his own campaign. And it's also a known fact that Weta, for example, was working very closely with Ruto. That's why Raila Odinga kicked him out as the minority leader at the Senate. Look at Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka found it difficult to work with Raila Odinga because he felt that Raila Odinga promised to support him. But it doesn't end there. It even goes beyond that. In the last elections, there are people who are told, don't run, don't contest, we'll do this next time. But now those promises are not possible to be fulfilled. So the unfulfilled promises is really a big hurdle for Raila Odinga. How he's going to deal with them is something which I don't know. I know even within his circles, there are people who are promised A, B, C, D, they never got. So the unfulfilled promises. Number two, the second hurdle he's facing is William Ruto's determination to to win this election. William Ruto has proved that it's not a pushover. And I was asking myself that if, for example, Raila and Uhuru combined forces and Ruto was not there, and their opponent was Mudavadi and Weta and say Kalonzo, do you think those guys would still be surviving politically? They would have been crushed a long time ago. The mere fact that for the last 4 years, Ruto is still surviving is a mystery to me. Because a combination of Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga is a serious combination. It's a combination that you cannot easily manage, but Ruto has managed it. So what I can say is that William Ruto has done well. And his determination is actually something which you must give it to him. If it were not Ruto, I'm sure Raila Odinga's march to Statehouse would have been easy. So today, Ruto is so determined that he's doing everything to try and block Raila Odinga, to an extent that despite the support from President Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga is still finding it hard. But one thing I know for sure is that the next president of the Republic of Kenya will be Raila Odinga. Number 3, and this is a serious challenge, it's only that I no longer work for Raila Odinga, I would have shared with them what they can do. You know, if you listen to William Ruto and his campaigns, you can even go to his Facebook page. There's a way their messaging is coming out. At any of their posts, there must be something to do with the economy. If you look at Raila Odinga's 2007 campaign, it was about change. The messaging was coming clearly. What about this particular election? I'm not getting Raila Odinga's message clearly for this particular election. Maybe you can help me. But as an outsider, I'm not getting Raila Odinga's messaging. Of course, he's been trying to, what I can call, devolve the messaging to regions. But you see, that's not a rallying call. Raila Odinga needs a clear rallying call. Like Ruto had that hustler narrative, which was a very good rallying call. And then now they have bottoms up, which for me is not a very good rallying call, because bottoms up is very difficult to explain. So I think Raila Odinga needs to come up with a very clear messaging strategy, a very clear rallying call, so that when he goes to a rally, people, even if he doesn't go to a rally, anybody discussing Raila Odinga's bid can tell you what it stands for. Like, what is Raila Odinga's rallying call for this election? What is he going to do? If I were to ask you. So it's not coming out very clearly. The 4th hurdle, and this one people are talking in low tones, is what we call family interference. You know, the challenge Raila Odinga is facing is that he's coming from a political family. And coming from a political family means you cannot deny your brothers, sisters, cousins, relatives the opportunity to contest. Some of them would even be contesting if Raila Odinga himself was not in the picture. So, but there's some interference. Like, I've talked to people, they tell me, like, even the secretariat, there's some interferences there, which Raila Odinga must deal with. In 2007, I was told that Raila Odinga had to take Fidel out of the country because some people were complaining about him. But you know, the way Fidel was a good man. And I was just reading, was it the newspaper yesterday, that Raila Odinga has been trying to appeal to Uhuru Odinga to step down from the Siaya senatorial seat. But Uhuru Odinga is saying no. But if you look at it from this perspective, Uhuru Odinga joined politics in 1979, I think, when he was elected as a councillor in Kisumu, kitambo sana. And in his own right, he was also elected as a member of parliament. But you see, because of the name Raila Odinga, Uhuru Odinga is now viewed not as Uhuru Odinga, but as a member of the extended Odinga family. And people are taking advantage of that. Now, I want to give you a clear example of Ruth Odinga. You know, Ruth Odinga contested for Kisumu gubernatorial seat in 2013. And I know for sure that in that election, Ruth Odinga won. Yeah? But now the other clans ganged up against her. That's how Jack Ranguma became the governor. So she was actually denied, despite the fact that she's a politician, a woman who won in a free and fair nomination process. Right now, she's also contesting again as a Kisumu women representative. And I'm hearing the name of the Odinga family coming up. The other day, Winnie Odinga went with the father to the UK, and there was this story of she abused Nani, because sometimes maybe she did not even abuse anybody, but the fact that she comes from the Odinga family, any accusation will serve any interest. So that family interest. Number 5 is the nomination headache. How is Raila Odinga going to deal with the nomination in his own party? Forget about the extended coalition, the Azimio. In his party, for example, how is Raila Odinga going to deal with the nomination in Kisii? Of course, in Kisii, now you've seen Ongere running away. You've seen Arati there, then you are also seeing Jubilee. So in Kisii, we are going to have, ODM is going to have, Azimio are going to have 3 candidates, while UDA party is going to have a single candidate. So you see that's challenge. You come to Siaya, for example. There is Gumbo, there is Orengo. You go to Mombasa, there's Shebal, there is Nasir. How is he going to deal with them? You come to Nairobi, for example. How is Raila Odinga going to deal with Tim Wanyonyi? How is he going to deal with Richard Ngatia? And I'm told even Rafael Tojo is likely to come to Nairobi. How is he going to deal with that? So a lot of issues as far as the nomination is concerned. Number 6 is the Uhuru Kenyatta's post-2022 interest. You see, politics is about interest, and I've always opined on this platform that one of the main reasons why President Uhuru Kenyatta dumped his deputy was because William Ruto failed to take care of President Uhuru Kenyatta's personal interest. Uhuru Kenyatta was too young to go home to retire. He was too young. So William Ruto ought to have considered his interest. Now, Raila Odinga has considered this interest. So how is Raila Odinga going to deal with President Uhuru Kenyatta's interest for post-2022? Because if you study President Uhuru Kenyatta's body language, Uhuru Kenyatta is very keen on getting members of parliament. And I was telling someone that based on my own understanding of politics, Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on becoming the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. And therefore, he must get a good number of members of parliament. So in Western Kenya, he's ensuring that DAP Kenya gets MPs. Uhuru Kenyatta has actually locked the larger Northeastern. Ruto will not get, Raila Odinga's party will not get. Jubilee is going to win there. Uhuru Kenyatta has managed to bring Kalonzo Musyoka on board. So Kalonzo Musyoka is likely to win majority of seats in Ukambani. Those seats, President Uhuru Kenyatta will be able to control. Assuming President Uhuru Kenyatta will go and win in the larger Mount Kenya region, even if he will not win, assuming UDA party wins in Mount Kenya region, and Raila Odinga becomes the president, and Uhuru wants to become the prime minister, those members of parliament will easily vote for President Uhuru Kenyatta. So I don't know his major interest, but how will the government be divided? Is Raila Odinga going to be just a president who is being controlled by the president, the former president? So that 2000 and post-2022 political interest of President Uhuru Kenyatta is also another hurdle which Raila Odinga is going to deal with. Because assuming Raila Odinga will assume, okay, let me go to the election, win first, then after winning, let me see how I can maybe shortchange Uhuru Kenyatta. That's going to be the beginning of his problems. And lastly, is the uncertainty over Mount Kenya votes. Just like I was explaining that it was assumed that Uhuru Kenyatta won in the last election, Raila Odinga came very closely, number 2. So it was assumed that if you added these votes, Raila Odinga was going to have a walkover in 2022. But because of William Ruto's determination, he's picking the bigger chunk of the larger Mount Kenya votes. So Raila Odinga's major hurdle is the Mount Kenya votes. Because if Raila Odinga can get the 40% from the larger Mount Kenya region, he will be the president, first round. But these Mount Kenya votes are slippery for Raila Odinga. They are slippery for President Uhuru Kenyatta. Of course, majority of people believe that in a contest, Uhuru Kenyatta will win over Ruto. But what is the ground saying? You can determine what the ground is saying by looking at several factors. One of the factors you can look at is definitely, the first factor you can look at is definitely what I can say the interests of the aspirants. Majority of aspirants are actually running to UDA. Of course, there's a lot of change, like I was reading the other day, that there are more Jubilee aspirants in Kiambu than the ones in Jubilee. So, but that uncertainty is a big hurdle, because if Raila, assuming will end up with 15% in the larger Mount Kenya region, that will be a big challenge, because William Ruto is also penetrating the other sides. Like I know today, is it tomorrow and Sunday, or today and tomorrow, is supposed to be in Mombasa. Raila Odinga will be going in Western. So the truth of the matter is that uncertainty of the mountain is giving Raila Odinga serious political headache. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. And for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, the channel cannot be where it is. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day.